The Dow closes up today 162 points, and the S&P 500 closes up 13. Let's first start off here with a chart of the S&P 500 futures, and let's go over to overnight here. This is yesterday's close, right around here, and we started climbing from there, pretty much from the close last night, overnight, all the way up until right here. This is the open this morning, and we started right off at R1 on the pivot points. And as soon as we hit it, we came right down, right off the open, busted through the pivot point down here like it wasn't there, and came all the way down to S1 after riding down on this VWAP line here. So we take a spike off of that bottom once we hit that support level. I like to point out down here too, this is my detrended signal on the bottom. Usually -5 is a good indication that we're oversold, and we made it all the way down to -10 almost. So it was time for a good bounce off of that. And then we have another attempt for selling here. Doesn't really work out. And then we come back up to the pivot point and this level of the VWAP here, and we kind of grind sideways and higher until we hit up to this R1 again. As soon as we hit that R1, we came off, and then we try to test it one more time. We bust out of it, and then we come back down. And we kind of closed the day right at R1, pretty much right where we opened the day, we closed it. After all this, we ended up right back up here. Pretty much an interesting day today in the S&P futures. So let's show a daily chart of this now. Oops, went too far. Okay, we have been talking yesterday about how just one down day doesn't mean the party's over, and that seems to be pretty clear today. We almost erased the losses. We even tried to sell off and came back up again, which is another good bullish sign. So, and we're back above that 200-day moving average, not safely, but we're a little bit above it. Once again, we have to worry about the support back here that is now going to be resistance on the way up, 1260 to 1250-ish, and we're only about 10 to 20 points away. That can happen in 5 minutes. So that's a daily chart of the S&P 500 here. And also I want to point out there's no real overboughtness yet on the RSI, probably because we were coming off of such oversold levels. So that's the RSI there and the S&Ps. So let's talk about the intraday chart of oil. If we go back into the beginning of the day here, the start of trading at oil is right about here. So overnight, we were pretty much sideways, but we started to come down about an hour or so before the open, and we were below this yellow VWAP line, which today seemed to be our indicator of indicators saying we ain't going to go above this thing. We tried to test it once in the beginning of trading, and we just came off of it and stayed off of it the whole time. Our S1 didn't seem to really matter too much. We kept busting through it. And so let's see where we ended up. So the market kept coming down. We just stayed below this yellow line the whole time. We never tried to test it again. Then we come down to S2. We finally hit some sort of support down here, and we kind of bounce around, and then we bust through it. But I want to point out down here what was going on my detrended signal here. And now since the detrended signal is priced based off of the actual price of the instrument that you're trading, 0.5 and -0.5 are my indicators down here. But you can see as we made a new low here and a new lower low here versus back here, this thing was still pointing upward. So it wasn't saying that this was a strong low here. So we had a nice bounce off of that. And then when we almost get up to that VWAP again, but we bust through that support 2 level, which didn't really seem very supportive today. And then we come all the way back down, and now we're ridiculously oversold down here. And when we get across, we kind of come up a little bit from there. But you can see how the detrended signal played in today to tell you, while we did make another low, it wasn't a strong enough low for this market to carry down. And when we finally did carry down, make a new low, then it was smooth sailing from there. So that's a chart of oil intraday. And now let's bounce over to the euro. What a fun day in the euro today it was. Now, euro opens up way earlier than the rest of the market. That opens up around here. But the volume usually doesn't kick in until the stock market kicks in, most of the time. So when the stock market kicks in, pretty much we bounce up all the way up and hit R1, and then we slam through all these support levels all the way down. We hug this VWAP, we come even below it, the second deviation here. We just say hello to this support level and kiss it goodbye. We come all the way down to S2 and then bam, like magic, we jump up off of it. This is 170 plus pips, this move here, straight down. It's pretty incredible. So then we come off of that, and I don't think there's a blue bar in here. Yeah, they're all red. So then we come up from here. Once again, since that S1 didn't play any role on the way down, doesn't play any role on the way back up. And then we just come up, and then we kind of glide sideways for the rest of the trading. And actually, the close for Euro is right here-ish. So, yeah, pretty much go sideways around the pivot point from there. But this is a good example of pivot point trading on currencies. I like to do that a lot on my currencies. And let's look at the D trend on the bottom here. Once again, it's priced based off of the price of the actual commodity you're trading. And so negative 0.005 is a good low. And we were well below that down here. When we had a little cross and it getting gap wide enough, the selling was over. So that's another example of the D trend and the pivot points on the euro today. Let's look at the natural gas trade that I was talking about yesterday. I didn't take it. I meant to mention in the video that I wasn't going to take it unless I saw what the numbers were today for the supply, and it didn't really matter what the numbers were. The market sold off pretty handsomely back into this trend. So I am looking still for us to bounce out of that trend, and when that happens, I'll take a good swing trade long. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but I can wait. So that's what I'm looking for. And once again, I'm looking for initial profit target of about 4 even, and then we'll see what goes from there. RSI and stochastics don't seem to be pointing to anything but neutral right about now, even though we are trending lower. So that's the market as I saw it today. Please check out our website at toptiercapital.com for more information on what we do. And happy trading to all. Thanks. Bye-bye.